Uh, Here we go. So this is like the exhibit hall. I'll do a little like brief tour. I'm at the Aug Lab, well, Human Augmentation Center. I'll try to find an actual poster or visual of it. There we go. So where am I? It's held in the Media Lab at MIT, but this is essentially what we're. Well, I can't really see down here, but essentially what we're. There we go. Now I can see what I'm showing you. That's cool. This is where we are. So I'm gonna sneak peek inside here. They're still like doing some keynote talks and stuff. I'm not gonna say a lot in here. Let's go. So we got a set of speakers today. This is like the main hall. We're on the 6th floor. And they have some posters, they have some exhibitors, there's a bunch of startup stuff. There's people with technologies, there's some very unripened bananas. Right there.
Yeah.
But this is sort of where things are happening. So we have like all these different groups of you know actual seeing machines and robots and things like that. So want to have it be like I'm over here. There's Echoloptos. It's going to be in the back, but things keep moving around a lot. Well, no, it's just Sunday, the AI Hackathon Club. And Atos has sent a lot of stuff here too. So it's just a super brief tour. Unfortunately, turn this around here. So you can maybe hear me a little bit better. Unfortunately, as we look down, like this is like one of the study areas, and there's like, oh, that's cool. You can see this, but that's actually the Charles River. There's the Citgo sign. I think that's a BU building. We're in Cambridge, and that's like where Boston proper is over there on that side of the river.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Morgan couldn't make it. He was going to do Frontier Tower stuff. I don't know if you spoke with him at all today or whatever, but he is not couldn't make it out here. And I don't know if Frontier Towers is still. There were some folks from like the local Neurotech X chapters that were going to go, but I haven't ran into them yet. Who may try to do a similar thing. Frontier Towers is still already mentioned by one of the speakers or the co-hosts and speakers. So yeah, any I don't know questions or comments or what else can I show you in our little moment here?
Yeah, you said you had an area or a booth or poster or something.
I'm sorry, what's that?
You said you had a booth or a poster.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, my poster. I'll just take this small paper. Well, you can kind of see here. I was gonna originally do a poster, then I didn't know if they were gonna. Whoops, sorry. And they were gonna let me know. So this is like the general website. I have this here. But it's not real. It's just the website. And actually, I'm actually gonna link to this proposal. I made a specific proposal when I pitched to get in here. So there's like a Notion website that's sort of it's a collection of things that was a little bit more of a summary of everything else. So I don't have like a great it'd be much easier to like sit down on my computer screen later and and actually show it in a more coherent way. But I originally submitted for a poster session and they didn't get back to me until like less than 24 hours later. Say, okay, well, here's what we're gonna do, and then I'm on the way here. Shout out to Dan for wrangling me a monitor, but then they didn't have enough monitors, and I was like, the Augmentation Lab has the residency and all that stuff, and then one of the people who needed the monitors to use the monitors, so I was gonna try to repurpose this really old TV, but it was cracked and broken. It wouldn't start. Like probably like one of the oldest pieces of technology around here. But it was still flat screen, but it was, I'm actually going to see if I can step out here. It's a little bit quieter.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's way better. Sorry, I should have meant before.
Right.
But no, basically what I'm showing off and what I originally applied to is essentially just Joe Pro proper. But also I wanted to basically do a little discussion for like kind of data and direction, as what I could in the like some orthogonal related things. On the websites that I'm showing, there's going to be a little space for the data and direction interns. Um, one person got back to me with an actual. There's not really a whole lot to try to show yet, but they're working on basically just walking through what they've tried to do. Their project, Arnav's project, is about he's diving deeply into like natural language processing and attempting to do his original aim, which is very lofty and a great place to start. That was updated was to basically uh, learn a bit of NLP and attempt to um, assess or evaluate the like ethics policies that different big organizations put out. And he's gone to the it's a good learning experience for him as someone who's totally new to all this and like an undergraduate student realizing you know he basically died. He's not a data science student, but I was like, this is a big course in data science for you because you're realizing that the lack of uniformity in your source documents is one thing, and then how you're going to evaluate is going to require different lenses. And the original evaluation, the original attempts he wanted to do to use as an evaluatory metric, we reviewed a good amount, and we're like, this probably isn't going to work. So both trying to quantify things like ethics, or even just quantifying um, anything in terms of an evaluatory sense or a policy sense is challenging. And him realizing like, okay, like here was my original, uh, plan, and how do you change that? How do you find something tenable? And what's been fun and like interesting as like a educator in that sense has been going through the process of, you know, do you want to make this a traditional 8, 10 week 12-week endeavor, or do you want to stay with it and try to keep growing with it? And like, is you can just cut it off and say, well, here's what I did, and here's a very simple version of what I wanted to do, or do you want to keep going with it? And I applaud Arnav for wanting to continue to actually explore with it and deal with the messy stuff and keep not just sort of do your generic data science 100 level project of, well, here's what I did, here's something that kind of works, and I'm done. So that's cool. That's a bit of an in-depth thing for him in an internship. But more so than that, and I'll try to take some more nice, scenic things. There's the famous dome and all that stuff here. There's the Strata Center, which like the sea sail and everything else. I don't know. I think one of the what I like about the Aug Lab so far, and I'll try to share some pictures and images of this. Is like they're independent. They're sort of in a similar vein of what our orthogonal labs trying to do. They're not affiliated. Obviously, we're here, but they're not 100%. They're not a part of another institution. They're trying to do independent stuff. And as in their intro meeting today, they're doing a lot in terms of. I'll go back in and talk about this to try to point out some things. As they pointed out today, like what they're trying to do is like, especially for younger folks, getting access to the things that you want to do, and getting access to I'm gonna move away so I don't say things that are like you know I want to speak nicely, and I'm going to speak nicely. I don't want to say anything wrong. But what's cool is like their sense of sorry, I'm in between because it's so noisy in there and I don't have a mic, so I apologize for that. Um, they want young folks to be able to get access to what they need to do. Uh, and like no one's teaching us how to do this. And kind of like I said with the cognition futures when I started out in the lab, like, geez, this is stuff that I have to wait 10 years to get to work on or explore. So just appreciating the actual opportunity by which you get to the actual opportunity by what you're getting to explore these things and have a community that's invested in all these different folks trying to do this stuff out here and learn. So that's really cool. And their general ethos of independence and making they're very inviting and inclusive for anybody who wants to do things with a lab. You can get in, you can try to join, you can try to build. And then also a somewhat of an ethical lens of we want to be conscientious of what we're building and how it impacts the human condition in the future. So that's sort of the short version of all that stuff. As I'll kind of I don't know wrap it up here, I suppose, and get back in there. But is there anything else that you wanted to say? I'll do another do a little tour again and see. There's I think more people are filtering out to the actual booths here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm interested in what Ecolopto has there.
yeah, so it's a good question. I don't know if their booth is like fully up right now. Let me see. Um, I don't. Their stuff is shifted around. Um, also, can you like hear me at all in here, or is it like
Yeah, I
terrible?
can hear
Okay. I'm trying to find Echolapto's booth, but I don't know where Addie is. I don't see where Addie went. Um, but they revealed at one of the talks. Hey, Dan, do you know where Echolapto's booth is? Is it back in the corner? Okay, that's where I thought it was. It's actually yeah. Then. Round table. Round table. Okay, okay, thanks. They're not. I'm gonna try to. I don't see where Echolapto stuff is. I think this was moved, but it used to be back in this corner. But anyway, what they revealed a bit today was like a sort of an effort of social computing. It's not right here. Which is kind of the stuff that I've been talking about. Um, Here's Echolopto's booth proper, but they don't have anything. I don't think it's that. I do not see what I'm seeing, but there it is. But yeah, here's their name, but I don't think they have anything here. So,
you. Okay.
there you go. The two best here, but no. Um, there's like an Echolopto laptop set. But Addie's like a co-host, so he's doing a lot of stuff here. But what they were getting at was essentially, Addie's very interested in like you could say uh, he's working on something called olfactory language. There's a lot of like Elon Barinholtz and Will Hahn are doing. They're in sort of the Center for Minds in FAU. I forget what it's called, but essentially it's stuff about minds, computation. Elon's doing a lot with like language and LLMs and all this other stuff. But I don't know if Echolopter has a presentation to show. But he did drop something. He kind of did a reveal today. He did a reveal of essentially a real reveal of essentially saying like, hey, we're doing like social computing, which I think he meant it in a different way of like not social robotics that exists, but the computation of like social interaction and language and using it, kind of grounding it in this, computational medium, which maybe is not totally how I'd say some things, but certainly is what they're doing is very interesting, and I might do more with them ahead. So yeah, there you go. And lovely garbage cans too. So I don't know. Any other questions or comments as I kind of awkwardly walk around here still?
Yeah, so there are a lot of demos, or what's just posters. It looks
Um,
like people are interacting over demos and things like
it's
that.
kind of unclear. Like this is it's a little bit clear. I think some are at their booths. Like this person is a VR, actually VR has certain things to do here. Dan Actually, I'll show you this. Maybe I could get Dan to show us this because I actually really like this because it's sort of like, do you remember state of the art AI?
Yeah.
Um, it's basically that plus a little bit of frontier mappy type stuff. Like it's basically typing in a search term and it's going to try to give you it's like connected papers.
Okay.
I don't know if he's kind of busy right now, but um, he's working with Sylvan, but it's sort of this. He's also does things with Wolfram, but I think this is what he's trying to do. Yeah, it's sort of this. You can type in a search term and it will kind of give you a generated readout, and then also a bit of connected paper. So it's a little bit more of concepts, but then also I think like how this is going to work. A bit like how. Sorry, you can't play see this very well. But like how these different arenas connect. And I just messed up the graph here, but sort of like connected papers. You can see the papers, and then I think uh, some of the concepts with it too. So he's doing a lot there. It's sort of like a variant of frontier map kind of stuff, and then connected papers and a bit of what state. It's where I kind of wanted state of the art AI to go, honestly, which is currently like I don't even think you can see much there. Maybe a little bit on the Wayback Machine, like Dan up there too. But yeah, it's cool stuff. Let me see other demos. Look at that. Sunday is the hack club here. I have a few people I met through this doing other stuff. Echolopto is currently just a purple bag, so that's cool.
Is is Wolfram there?
Wolfram?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolf. I think I don't know if he's going to be here in person, but he's going to be like doing something later. And there was actually like, here's the Wolfram desk too.
Okay. Yeah.
But these are like a lot of the actual organizations. I think MAS is the masters of media arts and sciences here at the Media Lab. One of the speakers was someone who does like admissions for it, so it's pretty cool. I think everybody's coming out now, so probably is a good time to stop and get to the booth. So
all right.
Yeah. I can maybe walk around a bit more later too. I don't know. I imagine you're kind of just going to be. You're not going to be around much longer. You're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay, that's fine. I know this is sort of on the fly.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't even know if I should be doing it in vertical or horizontal at this point. There's Addy. Here we go. What's he doing? He's taking a poster.
Oh boy.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's a bit chaotic as you can tell, but
Yeah.
it was good to check in.
Yeah.
And we can talk more about it later. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here, and I don't know. I've applied to the MIT Media Lab a few times. I wasn't going to do it again. I'm a little bit more tempted now because it's a great opportunity, and just like a lot of what's happening with like fluid interface. Patty Mays and Pat from Fluid Interfaces, and also the AHA Advancing Humanity with AI. That Pat is sort of his own their own research group now, a new group at MIT, the Media Lab.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see where that goes. So I hope they'll catch them a bit later, but I'll sign off for now.
All right.
And good stuff, everybody. And I'll see you next time. Also, shout out to the Google Summer Code folks who actually like went through it all.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of what they've done this summer. So
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that, and see you next time.
All right. See you. Thank you.
Bye bye.